Honolulu received them with kindness and courtesy. The Japanese were very interested in learning as much as they could, though sometimes in unusual ways. For example, one Honolulu woman reported returning to her home after an hour and found a group of visitors inside. They were inspecting her skilled dress while another was curious about her bonnet. One other was perplexed at the purpose of a hoop skirt, thinking that it might be a cage for Western women when they would go astray, or simply as a precaution against danger. The thought that it was worn voluntarily was the last thing on their minds. Artists with the Japanese embassy went around town with sketchbooks in hand. They drew pictures of everything they saw. One of the most enthusiastic artists drew the picture of a woman he admired on the street. On the day before their departure, Kamehameha IV and 7 of his court came to the Powhatan to pay his respects to the flag officer and the ambassadors. He was given a 21-gun salute upon arrival and departure. I'm Ayano Oshima reporting.
In the day the Japanese embassy departed Hawaii for the United States, a service was held at the Seaman's Bethel in Honolulu. A sermon preached by Rev. Samuel C. Damon was delivered, providing his audience with his perspective on the significance of the visit by the Japanese ambassadors. Koki Murakami joins us with Rev. Damon from the Seaman's Bethel.
Thank you, Kento. Rev. Samuel C. Damon was the pastor of the Seaman's Bethel in Honolulu for 42 years. His congregation included sailors, merchants, sea captains, and many others. He was the editor and publisher of The Friend, a monthly newspaper. On Sunday morning, March 18th, as the USS Powhatan departed for San Francisco, he delivered his sermon on the Japanese embassy. Rev. Damon, thank you for joining us today.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for having me. My thoughts focusing on the impact of Japanese embassy's visit to Hawaii Island and the United States. This is a remarkable event in our world history, and one that is destined to work out vast changes in the character and condition of Japanese, as well as the other nations' results are be brought about which will affect more or less the minds of millions.
How so? How will history be changed by this visit?
We are now living amid changes, revolutions, and convulsions of nations on a large scale. Old landmarks and customs are breaking up and dissolving, and new combinations are forming, unassuring a new era. For example, the minds of business and commercial men are awakening in this age, and they are pushing their enterprises in every direction. Expeditions are fitting out. The agents are sent to visit all parts of the globe in order to open trade. Japan was the largest, greatest nation that refused to acknowledge itself a member of the great family of commercial nations. So strong, however, was the commercial pressure combined with other influences that Japan's exclusiveness was compelled to yield because of strong, irresistible tides of commercial influences were setting up upon the shores of Japan.
You mentioned commercial influences. What does this mean?
Commercial knowledge will increase. Merchants, commercial agents, and consultants will exponentially devoted to the business of gathering facts and statistics respecting the trade and commerce. The old and slow mediums of communication do not satisfy the intense desire among the merchants to ascertain the latest news, but will facilitate of the facilities of the telegram and steam are put into use. London or New York merchants are now made familiar, acquainted with every new few days, with the state of markets in all the parts of the commercial world.
In your remarks this morning, you stated that scientific knowledge will expand.
Yes, the large number of scientific men sent abroad by private enterprises and in government employment has so wonderfully increased the domain of the science. That scientific era seems really but to have dawned upon our world. Chemistry, geology, mineralogy, and other cycle of nature sciences were unknown. Knowledge has been most wonderfully increased since men of science began to travel abroad and explore the wonders of nature. These travels and explorations have enlightened and benefited the whole world. Scientific ideas cannot be confined to the minds of individuals. Scientific knowledge diffuses itself abroad.
Will the results of the Japanese embassy be filled with important outcomes to both nations?
Yes, especially to the Japanese people. A multitude of new ideas will be gathered up and conveyed back to Japan. I predict the Japanese will modify their views of commercial, scientific, and political and religious subjects. Their knowledge will be most wonderfully increased. Already the process has commenced. Upon our own little island, they will note down their first impressions of foreign lands, and these impressions will be conveyed back to Japan, even before they can reach Washington.
Thank you for your perspective, Reverend Damon. This is Koki Murakami reporting from the Siemens vessel Honolulu for the Hawaii Tokai International College News Network.
This has been a special report from the Hawaii Tokai International College News Network. On behalf of all the members of our news team, thank you for tuning in.